Kate is a young doctor living in an apartment building in Chicago in the year 2006. She is moving from the secluded lake house where she has lived for several years to a new place. Leaving the house, Kate leaves a letter for the next tenant in the mailbox, explaining that she will miss the house and that the strange footprints at the entrance were already there before she moved in. Soon after, the letter is received by Alex, the architect who has recently returned to the lake house after a long absence. However, when Alex reads Kate's letter, he is perplexed because there are no footprints in the house and he himself is sure that the house was empty before his return. Alex decides to respond to the letter, asking Kate about her strange references. He also reports that he saw no footprints in the driveway and that the house looked abandoned. Kate receives this letter and doesn't understand why Alex responds this way, since she knows for a fact that she left those footprints. The couple begins to correspond through the house's mailbox, finding out that they live in different timelines. Kate lives in the year 2006 and Alex in the year 2004. Both don't understand how this is possible, but continue to write to each other, creating a special bond. Alex tells Kate about his life as an architect, his father, a famous architect with whom he has a complicated relationship, and his admiration for the lake house his father built. He describes the house as an architectural marvel with simple but elegant lines and an incredible view of the water. For Alex, the house symbolizes lost family ties, as his father was consumed with his career and rarely spent time with his family. Kate in turn talks about her work as a doctor and how she enjoys helping people, but at the same time she feels lonely and a little lost in the big city. Over time, the correspondence between Kate and Alex becomes more and more personal. They discuss books, movies, dreams, hopes, and share their thoughts on life. Kate reveals that despite her outwardly successful life, she is looking for a deep connection with someone who would understand her on another level. Alex in turn opens up to her, talking about his desire for something more than just a career and his desire to find love. One day, Alex proposes to Kate that they meet. He tells her that in his world it is the year 2004 and that if she wants, they can arrange to meet in 2 years, when it will be the year 2006 for her. Kate, though hesitant, agrees and they arrange to meet at a restaurant. Alex arrives at the appointed time, but Kate does not show up. He waits for hours and then leaves, assuming that she changed her mind or that something got in the way. Kate, on the other hand, discovers in her own time that Alex was not in her life on the appointed day and assumes that something went wrong. She gets upset but continues to text him, hoping that there is still a chance to meet. Meanwhile, Alex begins to tell Kate more about his current projects. He is working on restoring an old house that has been abandoned for years. He describes it as a place that symbolizes new beginnings for him, and plans to make it his home in the future. He shares his architectural ideas with Kate, and she supports him and inspires him to keep working. However, Kate is faced with tragedy. Coming home from work one day, she sees a man who has been hit by a car in front of her. Kate tries to give him first aid, but he dies in her arms. This death shakes her deeply and she shares her worries with Alex. He comforts her by writing her long letters of support, telling her his thoughts on life and death, and an even deeper emotional bond develops between them. Alex in turn feels more motivated through his correspondence with Kate. He begins to overcome his differences with his father, realizing that much in their relationship could be changed if they communicated more openly. He shares with Kate that he is going to visit his father and talk to him about his childhood and the lake house. Soon Alex decides to take an unexpected step. He tells Kate that he intends to change the future and meet her sooner than they thought. He promises her to come the very day she saw a man get hit by a car. However, Kate, realizing that man was Alex, begs him not to do that, not to meet her, because she doesn't want to lose him. She realizes that it was his death that she saw that day. Kate panics and writes him several letters in a row trying to stop him, but the mailbox is no longer answering. She stays in her own time, feeling hopeless and desperate. She thinks she has lost him forever and that she cannot change what has happened. However, sometime later she receives a letter from Alex, written before he was going to change the future. In the letter, he explains that despite their impossible connection, he will always remember her and hopes that one day they can meet in another time. Kate decides to visit the lake house again, hoping to find something there that can restore her faith in the future. When she arrives at the house, she sees that Alex is alive and waiting for her. He tells her that he read her letters in time and decided not to meet her that fateful day. They embrace, realizing that they can finally be together despite all the difficulties and obstacles that stood in their way. Thus the movie ends on a note of hope and a new beginning for Kate and Alex, who finally find each other despite time and space. Their story is not just a romance, but a profound look at how love can overcome any obstacle if it is true.